Hey guys! So this is another one of my Kellerman vlogs. These are where I reread the murder mysteries written by author Jonathan Kellerman and discuss them. Hopefully discuss them with other people that have reread them and have some of the same interests that I do. Things that we like, things that we don't like, things that bother us, questions we would ask the author, that sort of thing. So next up is Bones, and I'm assuming if you watch these that you have read the books, but just in case you haven't, I'll give you a brief synopsis. Our main characters are psychologist Alex Delaware and LAPD detective Milo Sturgis. In this book, there's a marsh in LA called Bird Marsh, and I don't know if it's a real place. I looked it up, and there's a place called Bologna Wetlands that it might be based on, but I'm not sure. I didn't dig deep with that. Anyhow, it's a environmentally protected marsh, and initially a body turns up there, and then later some bones, and they trace the bones and the bodies mostly to missing prostitutes, but then one of them is a piano teacher for the son of a rich family, and so they start investigating. That leads them to the family, which leads them to the caretaker for the family, who just seems kind of suspicious, and they kind of fixate on him as a potential suspect. Meanwhile, I think the reader is kind of supposed to assume that he's probably not the suspect. I don't know if I'm giving a spoiler or not, but generally every time I've read it, I've been like, no, that's not the guy, right? And so the book is about figuring out if he's involved or not, and if anyone else is involved, and just essentially solving the murder mysteries. So hopefully I didn't give too much away. Let's talk about my notes. I don't have a whole lot of notes for this one. This book fits into what I've been calling the weird era, where the mysteries and the criminals seem progressively more surreal. That makes for some very interesting stories. I'm not saying I don't like that, but in general, I prefer books and TV shows and movies that have more realism than surrealism. Again, these are still squarely within the realm of, I guess this could be real, but it definitely seems to be out of the realm of, oh, that's definitely a thing that happens. I love this book for introducing Detective Moses Reed and his brother, former detective Aaron Fox. I think they're two of Kellerman's best written characters in the history of all his books. I really like them. I like how the characters are fleshed out in later books, and I really hope they get more solo books. Let's talk about the notes. I don't have very many. A vegan restaurant named Real Food Daily is mentioned. I looked it up. It is real. However, I couldn't find the menu items referenced. So either those were fictional, or they've just simply changed their menu since the book was written. I might be saying his name wrong. Is this the introduction of District Attorney John Nguyen? Because he appears in a lot of books going forward, and I believe this is the first time I remember seeing his name. I do not understand the email exchange. I'm not clear on who it's between or what it's about. There's at one point near the end of the book where it just shows a few pages of emails, and I think we're supposed to know who they're going between and what they're about, but it went over my head. Like, they didn't seem like the way any of the characters in the book would actually write. I think Kellerman uses a lot of, like, he'll use text messaging shorthand for emailing, but that's not the way I write emails. I don't know, that's not the way emails generally come to me, and I get confused. I do not know if this is the first time a piano is brought into a hospital room, but it's definitely not the only time. And every time it happens, Alex or whoever is like, oh, I've got this great idea that no one's ever had before. Let's bring a piano in. And then, oh, wow, no one's ever thought of that before. But it happens in multiple books. And, like, every time it happens, it's like it's the first time. And that's silly to me. Why not just say, hey, we tried this with a past patient and it worked, so go get the piano again. Those are all the notes I have. Told you it wasn't very many. The next book is True Detectives, which is the first and might be the only, I'm not sure, book that focuses solely on Aaron and Moses. Again, I hope that that's a series that continues. I know that Aaron has talked about in his inner monologue of investigating the murder of his father, which is mentioned, I believe, in this book and fleshed out a little more in the next book. I really hope there's a whole book that goes into that. I think that would be a fascinating book. Kellerman seems to write these characters very well, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to the next book. And like I said, this book that we just finished is the one that set that up. So many good things. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.